guess when I can use crutches. I don't know about surgery, but the pain is bad. I can't even walk. Oh, there's my glasses. So I watch TV, I guess. No. So I just gotta wait for the nurse. Oh, I'm so excited. So, there's a chance I said a prayer and there's a chance I might not have to get surgery if the bones mend back together. And they're gonna see about saving me ibuprofen because I have swelling on the inside. The inflammation's pushing on the nerve, and that's what's causing me so much pain. Hi, hi, Jake. So I don't care what anybody says. God is real. I'm telling you. Within an hour of them telling me that I gotta get surgery and get some bolts and stuff in my knee to them coming back and saying I might possibly be mended back together. So you might not have to get surgery. I said, are you serious? And he said, also, he said, if you can go home. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, God, because the healing process is 12 months with the surgery and complications. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll say a prayer for you. He's done miracle. I'm a breathing miracle. He's got me through so many trials and tribulations. The problem with me is I never gave him the respect that he really deserved. He tried to help me through, just like when we went to my son's birthday party, first month of lot 12, to my going swimming, and there was a huge storm coming, like hail and everything. And I said a prayer. I'm like, my son really wants to do this because he's crazy like that. But I said, God, I need you. I said, please, please do whatever you have to do to the weather to change it. And it rained for about 45 minutes and then it went away. And it wasn't that windy as it's almost like he died down everything. So just, I'm telling you, you know, and God's real. And one time this was one of the times I was lifting weights and doing a whole bunch of aerobic exercises. It was about 20 years ago. And I was doing inside, outside, throwing them up in the air and catching them. And I guess I was overworked because I just kept lifting. And all of a sudden, I throw them up and I don't see them no more. They came crashing down on my face. Um, so yeah, I have a scar right here. But the point about the story is when I went the ambulance, I literally was saying, "Oh God," because He showed me the way the weights came down on my face and the way they were gonna come down. And He literally, instead of them coming down, He turned them. So I had a brush burn here and then down here. There's no way they would have angle with throwing them up. And I seen that vision like that. and all I had to get was 30 some stitches, and I'm fine. He helped me in so many different ways. Um, even with my marriage, you know. But problem with today's society is everybody wants to say what's in it for me, so to speak. What did they do for me? And that's the carnal thinking, you know. What did they do for me? Because I used to think that because I'd do anything for anybody. It literally starts messing with your mind. There's a thing if someone's using you, you just say, okay, I just gotta let that person go. But you don't have to treat the next person wrong because of this person. You know, you do on as you do on yourself. So if you want respect for yourself, be nice to other people. It comes back. You know, someone could just open a door for you, make your day, or say, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And don't know you from anything. So, but it's like the old saying, "It's what you make." Um, sorry, pain. I gotta move this knee soon, so I can get out of the hospital. I don't care for hospitals, but this was a wake up call. My son ordered could be a secret blessing that, and he don't even go to church or nothing, but he just. It's funny he said that because I think it's just a way that I can reconnect with God and stop trying to do stuff myself. Because no matter how many times I did it myself, I would mess it up. Even if it would go right, somebody's mood with you in a way, something. So I just like, I'm from now on, I'm just getting everything to him because, you know, the thing also, the thing I was talking about is, let's just say, that for people that don't believe in God, let's just say that you're wrong and there is a God. Do you really want to take a chance? And on top of that, there's nice people and go to church, and then there's people that aren't so nice, um, don't go to church, but it can be both. It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to say is just be kind. And everyone wants to feel good. Nobody wants to feel bad, you know. And like they say, just give it to God and let Him sort it out. It's not yours to sort out, especially with problems. You know, everybody has problems. Everybody's, after something different, but it shouldn't, you know, stop you from making the right choices. You know, it's like follow the leader kind of thing. You know, you can do that in certain aspects for motivation and stuff, but if you're following somebody who isn't doing so good, you're gonna wind up doing that same path. So if you're not sure or you want to do it your way, that's where God comes in. Do it His way. He'll show you the best way to go about doing it. You know, help you out in the end. When you think that you lost everything, he'll come through. Because I gotta keep. You know, there's two problems with people who go to church. The biggest problem people have is, even in general life, don't even have to go to church, but it's 12 inches, roughly 12 inches from here to here. That what screws people up. You know, got a good heart, messed up. That's why you need God, so He can fix that, which is called the flesh. You know, your thoughts. If you want to change your thoughts, lean on Him. he'll answer, but he just wants to see if you really mean it. You know, someone says, even in job market or whatever, I say, hey, can you work tomorrow? Yeah, no problem. And then the next day comes, I don't feel like going to work today. I'm going in. Say, but then the same person might say, I don't feel like going in, but I promise, so I have to. So it's not easy saying. I mean, it's easy saying yes or easy saying no in certain aspects, but sticking to that is what it is. It's like I'm in this hospital bed, you know. I mean, I'm starting, but on mom here, but at home, my wife and my daughter has to make amends because that's another reason. You know, dads get along. Sorry, I had to shift my leg. It's really in pain, but I'm gonna try to fight through this so I can get out of here. That's why I asked for ibuprofen to help me because I have inflammation inside. And he said there's inflammation on the outside, but there's also inflammation on the inside. And I said, oh, so the inflammation on the inside is pressing on my nerves, and that's what's causing me so much pain that I can't walk. So in order to get that under control, I gotta basically take like like an not an antibiotic, but like something inflammation reducer, you know, like ibuprofen, Motrin, you know, and if you take that and I get it reduced, and then with some ice, then I can, you know, get out of here and get back to work and my wife out. And hopefully, this time of healing, they can get together and figure out a plan because dad can't always do everything. I love my kids to death. I love my wife to death. My kids come first. That's just the way it is, you know. But my wife believes the same thing. You know, kids can split up marriages, but at the same time, if you really love your significant other, you'll be able to break through that. So that's what I'm doing. I my my kids and family love me. And I had a blast yesterday, so I didn't care about this. Really, this is a wake up call for something, but I had a blast. You know, I think they took like 30 videos. I don't remember half of it because it was the last time I was going to drink. So I just went all in, said, come on, son, he just came back from the army, so let's do this. 'Cause we don't know if we're going to get another chance at it. Just hang out, you know, because it's the thing with that. They always got to feel like they got to take charge, they got to, you know, but I'm observant. So, and he's old enough. So we drank some, I think, I don't know, it's Jim Beam and wild turkey or something. So, but I don't remember too much. You know what I'm saying? Hey, did you? He said, because he just turned 25, so he got punched 26 times. I think he said it's like 80 some hits. Each person gets 26 hits on it. And I said, I didn't do it. He said, yeah, you did that. I was like, what? I don't even remember. I guess after the 30th shot, I guess I was done. But that's not what it is. You know, I just wanted to hang on my kids. I'm not an alcoholic or any drink or anything. my son wanted to have a good time with me, so I was there with him. You know, you're not promised to tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So just try to enjoy life as you have it. Live every day as your last, they say. So just try to make the best of what you got. You know, I don't have much, but I try to make the best of it. And money is root of all evil. I don't look at money. I look at my family and helping people out. Yeah, I help bums out too sometimes if I have it, I'll give it to you. But if my family needs it first, well, then that's what it is. If someone needs help, I help them. Because you never know when you're going to need the help. That's, that's the problem with a lot of stuff is there's so much selfishness. But if you're going to be that way, you're not likely going to get the help. So on top of that, it's miserable. So just love it. You know, if you love people, it'll cancel out all the hate. Because perfect love casts out all fear. And last night, like I'm afraid of spiders, but last night my knee was hurting so bad, I didn't even know what I did just yet. And I was rolling. I wound up passing the tarp that I was laying on and rolling in the grass, and I felt something crawling on me. Here was a freaking wood spider, and but I was in so much pain. I just said, "Get out of here!" 'Cause so when when thinking about stuff that you can't do or your fears and all that, you can break through it. But if you have troubles, I'm in trouble. There's a lot of stuff I can't break through, and that's why God's there. He's there to help you break through it. Take that fear out, and put His love, and He'll probably even just steer you away from that problem that you were going to go face because it might have not been your time to go tackle that. And it's like pick and choose your battles. Well, that's what God's there for you. Picks and choose your battles, but He also leaves it up to you to pick and choose them too, to not only learn, but to gain information that you may need. You know, that's why we as a world we're supposed to be there for each other. You know, for instance, we might get in arguments with my kids or my wife or whatever, but if something's going down, the flock comes together and they start immediately just helping out whatever they need. Because I distilled that in them. Greed to the need. So greed falls short if someone's in trouble. We help each other out. That's the way it's supposed to be. But sometimes it can come from a complete stranger. I think my wife's coming out tonight. I don't want her being pressured by anything. She has a lot on her hand. I had to call my job and let them know what happened. Um, but I just like being around people and things and stuff. There's a lot of people that are good out there. So if you head down the right directions, you'll find them. If you head down the bad directions, you'll find that. But sometimes you'll find the bad and the good directions. But that can be another thing to divert you somewhere else. So, and like I said, everything happens for a reason. a reason, even a broken leg. Yeah, there's a reason why I have a broken leg, and I believe the reason is to teach something, teach somebody something, you know. I'm just here to help. Is that my daughter, my son, video is sent. Oh, that was just a video. Kathleen and I said hi, Jack. Jake, I mean, I said I pray for you, buddy, too. Okay. I look in the mirror and I still feel like okay, but then when I really look in the mirror, I'm like, whoa, what happened? But I'm young at heart, so and I gotta get in shape. That's what my son says. Maybe this is start working out. He's a trainer, my son. He's a boxer. He's an army man. You know, he's not stupid. He's very smart. And my daughter, she's trying to find her way, which I believe she was, but she will. It takes a lot of practice to win it, though. So she'll get it, though. Practice makes perfect. So not saying that you gotta be perfect, but just saying that enough practice, you'll get better at it. So don't give up. Yeah, I gotta fight with this pain so I can get on these crutches. But right now, I can't walk though. Kind of indisposed. So I'm actually using this time. I got a TV in my room. I use this time to relax and get some rest and get my thoughts straight. Because when stress and all that stuff happens, it changes you, you know. So I'm gonna be able to just give it a guy and say, you know what, here, going. I can't handle this. I can't do it. And he'll figure it out. Maybe not your way or anything that you're thinking, but just like his broken knee. I don't know if I was supposed to go to that party, and this has happened, but I went and had a good time. So to me, it was worth it because I got to spend time with my kids and got to connect with them. My son just actually texted me, my 15-year-old. He said, Dad, I miss you. I love you. You know, and that means a lot when my kids say that. My other oldest son says, Dad, if you need anything, I'm here. Plus, he's the one who helped me in the car because I couldn't walk. So he helped get me in the car and got me to the hospital. And he's a good kid. You know, all my kids are good, and some of them, but they're all good kids. They'll help anybody out if you need help. They have respect. So I think it's funny that my oldest son, he's crazy. He keeps the boxing gloves in his car because he ran into people that disagree with what he says, and he even gives them the upper hand. Says, "Well, if you disagree with me, and you still feel testy about it and stuff. He said you need to get some aggression off. He said we can throw the gloves on and you could teach me a few things or learn a few things, whatever. That way you do it the right way. But yeah, he's a good kid. Um, my wife, she has too much on her plate, and she puts a lot on her plate, and she puts it on mine too. But I'm there for her. Sorry, shifting around isn't easy, but you know, my life ain't a boy cherries, ain't a boy chocolate, and all that. But I love my family. I wouldn't have any other way. So everybody just do what you believe is best. No one's you know telling you what to do and all that stuff. And if they do, then you let them go. You know, like I say, give it to God and let Him figure it out. He'll figure it out, and just be kind. Like I learned from my wife to overlook a lot of things. She says something, I take it as a grain of salt. Is it really worth being right if I'm right? It's calling me. Hold on 1 second. Doctor, and I was like telling her, I said, no, I said, that's what the doctor told me. He said the inflammation is on the outside, but it's also on the inside. And that's what's keeping me from walking because the inflammation is pressing on the inside. There's inflammation inside my knee, which is causing the, the pressure of it. The inflammation is pressing on my nerves, which is causing me to have extreme pain when I try to walk on it, try to move it around. So he says it should reduce, with some ice and some ice. And as soon as I can walk around on the crutches, then I can go home. And then we'll check further for surgical procedures if necessary. If not, and it goes back together. And just take it easy. I'm gonna do it that way. That way I don't have to get. I don't want to get surgery. I'm supposed to get corporate tunnel surgery, and I went to physical therapy and beat that, or else I'm gonna have scars all on my wrist. So there is ways of beating stuff, as you just gotta work at it. So anyway, I'll get back on here in a little bit, but for now, thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Um, be safe out there and just try to help each other out and be good to one another. That's what I try to do. All right. Talk to you guys later. Love you.